Good evening, I'm Bo Williams, and welcome to the 7. Let's get a look at the Big 7 stories right now. And topping the list for us tonight, a woman accused in the death of her 5-year-old daughter tearfully taking the stand today in her own defense. That defense just resting after Robin Howington wrapped up her testimony. Prosecutors rested their case earlier in the afternoon. It's been nearly 5 years that we've been waiting to hear from Howington. Her daughter, Destiny, died in September of 2019, found shot at Howington's Fountain City home. The arrest coming after investigators became suspicious with Howington's behavior in the hours that followed, claiming her story changed. Now, Howington is charged with felony murder, attempted tampering with evidence, aggravated child neglect, and false reporting. The defense today brought up a call Howington made to 911 in which she said an unknown man came into the house and shot Destiny. Later, when questioned by investigators, Howington agreed with the police theory that her daughter's father may have been the one to pull the trigger. However, today, the defense argued that it was actually Howington's son, just 2 years old at the time, who found the gun in and accidentally shot Destiny. Howington testified that her story changed because she wanted to protect her son. Now, we should note, though, today is not the first time she's told police it was her son who pulled the trigger. In her testimony, she described the events leading up to the shooting. She says her children were in the house when she went outside to smoke. She says when she was walking back toward the house, she saw a flash of light through the front door.
And when I walked in, Gavin was screaming and crying, and the gun was on the ground.
And did you see where Destiny was at that point?
Yes, she was on the couch.
And was she moving at all?
No.
Did you try to speak with her at all?
Multiple times.
I'm sorry.
Multiple times.
And did she ever respond to you at that point?
No, sir.
Now, the first witness on the stand today was KPD Officer Brandon Wardlaw. The defense attorney focused on an incident where Wardlaw gave Howington a hug while he was interviewing her a few hours after the shooting. The defense contends that it was inappropriate, as Howington had previously told Wardlaw she had been raped by a police officer in the past. Officer Wardlaw says that's not unusual in emotional cases. The jury has been sent home now for the day. Closing arguments begin at 9 tomorrow morning, and we'll be there and we'll be watching for a verdict. A big vote on the future of the Knox County Comprehensive Land Use and Transportation Plan. Knox County Planning moving a step forward with Advance Knox. Last month, Knox County Commission voted unanimously to approve the growth plan under the condition that Knox County Planning approved its future land use map. That map designates how and where parts of the county would be used for development. At today's meeting, some advocating for the plan, others wanting, well, more changes.
We didn't feel heard. I was really unhappy with how the county seemed to rubber stamp Mayor Jacobs' plan. Unfortunately, that's the kind of thing that you have to do here. You have to continue the fight, pushing back on very influential developers.
There has been countless man hours that have gone into the Advanced Knox plan and all the things that come with it. I guarantee you that we have all gone through every single document with a fine-tooth comb and really put our eyes on it.
With the map passing today, the next step, Knox County Commission will take up the entire comprehensive plan for a vote on March 25th. A big story coming out of Fort Campbell today. That's where a U.S. Army soldier specializing in analyzing intelligence was arrested and accused of spying for China. Corbin Schultz is facing charges of conspiracy to obtain and disclose national defense information, exporting technical data on defense, and bribery of a public official. The U.S. Attorney for Tennessee's Middle District revealing the case today, unsealing a grand jury indictment. The court documents claiming that this started back in June of 2022 and lasted up to the time of the arrest today. Schultz apparently held a top-secret security clearance and was recruited to gather information on U.S. military weapon systems, some of it classified data that focused on cutting-edge technology like hypersonic missiles, the F-22 fighter, and intercontinental ballistic missiles. According to the Justice Department, the person Schultz was dealing with presented himself as a Hong Kong-based worker for a consulting firm, and some of the specifics this person asked for were allegedly related to that part of the world, including studies on Chinese military operations and potential plans if China were to invade Taiwan. Of course, we'll keep watching for more on this case as it heads to court. A new focus and a big search effort for a missing teen. The focus turning to a Kentucky landfill. You see the digging in this video behind me. It's the location where trash for the boy's neighborhood is sent. According to investigators, this is a precautionary measure to eliminate questions and possible options. There is no information that indicates evidence related to the search may be there. Now, it has been 1 week and 3 days since Sebastian Rogers was first reported missing from Sumner County in Middle Tennessee. The ground search was scaled back this week as authorities transitioned to the investigative side of the case. An Amber Alert for Sebastian, though, is still active, and we'll keep following the search effort. Tennessee's top attorney and colleagues from a bunch of other states going after a big target. Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti and the rest sending a letter to Meta Platforms, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, demanding that Instagram stop monetizing child exploitation. The move comes after Wall Street Journal report showed that Meta refused to implement recommended procedures to protect children's safety on Instagram. A letter sent to Meta from the Attorney General of Arkansas says there were staff recommendations to, quote, require accounts selling subscriptions to child-focused content to register themselves. The company did not implement this basic safeguard. As social media has continued to grow as users get younger and younger every year, so has the toll on kids' mental health. Now, the McNabb Center says there are ways parents can ensure their kids' safety when they use social media.
The first foundational one is have those conversations, open up dialogue about what their expectations are around social media. What are the risk factors associated with it? Really practical things like don't share personal information. Don't share certain pictures of yourself that you would not want to go beyond, outside of your close network.
Now, by Skrmetti's office said his office is already suing Meta for harms on children's mental health, and this latest report only adds to his concern. 2 former employees of Waffle House just filed a federal class action lawsuit against a franchisee claiming the company failed to pay employees minimum wage at Tennessee restaurants. And not just minimum wage, in court paperwork, WATE secured Nicole Arms from Knoxville and a second woman from Nashville claimed they were paid less than $3 an hour for both tipped and non-tipped work. Now, you may know or you may not know, it is legal in Tennessee to pay an hourly wage of less than $7.25 for jobs that tip, as long as the tips push employees up to minimum wage. But these women claim Waffle House never supplemented the hourly wage when they didn't receive tips. The lawsuit is simply asking for back pay for those missed wages for any employee that joins the suit, along with payment for attorney fees. We should note the Cedar Bluff Waffle House is specifically mentioned in this lawsuit. We do have some breaking news just into the newsroom we want to pass along. Jellico Regional Hospital is now officially closing its doors this weekend after ongoing issues with operating management. According to Jellico Mayor Terry Sandy, the hospital has been on diversion. Then the CEO resigned, and the company that runs the hospital has pulled out. That's when the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services came in to officially shut the place down. The doors to Jellico Regional Hospital will officially close this Saturday, March 9th, at least until the county can find a new provider to take over management.